In this video, you will learn how to find the right agency, freelancer, or a part-time hire for your Ecom brand. Let's dive in. And the first step is to truly identify for what purpose exactly you're hiring for. Meaning, what problem are you solving with this specific hire? And does paying premium make sense? Like hiring an agency is the most expensive choice. For example, if you need customer support, then you don't need an agency. It doesn't make any sense to pay high fees, and you can hire someone full-time and train them on how you want your customer service to be handled exactly. And hiring always starts by defining the constraint first, and then the hire should fix the constraint that you currently have. And a common mistake that I see often is people change their meta media buyers without diving into the real problem in the account, which usually is a high CPM, which is connected to organic posting or that creative. And maybe your meta media buyer is actually good, but the creatives that he is using are not converting. This doesn't mean that he is not doing his job or it's his fault why your ROI is lower. And let's say that you have defined exactly what you're looking for. When you're hiring a full-time person, an agency, or a freelancer, always speak with at least 2 or 3 of their past clients to hear their perspective about the work quality and the communication. And this is a must, especially if you are hiring for a key position in your company. And you have to understand clearly where you are adding this piece in the whole team structure. And I would highly advise you to keep organizational chart always updated. And ideally, you're hiring to solve a specific problem that you're currently having. You're not hiring for some tasks to get done. Always have a specific outcome that you want to happen. For example, increase profit on Amazon from 20 to 25%, or increase email marketing revenue from 19% of total revenue to 26% in 90 days. You must have a specific outcome and a time frame, and you have to calculate how much you're paying for the work compared to the possible gains that you have. For some work, it's hard, because for example, a good ad creative strategist and a media buyer from an agency can 5x your sales. It's absolutely possible, and I have done it many times with our team. However, if you're hiring an email marketing agency or a freelancer, your bump in revenue won't be massive, assuming you had the fundamentals set up before hiring this person, like your email flows, you are sending frequent email campaigns, and so on. And here are a few red flags to watch out for, like over-promising results, like 10x sales increase guaranteed, lack of clear onboarding process, slow communication during the sales process. If the agency or the freelancer is slow to respond, this means that they already have too much work. And if that's the case, your brand won't get the attention that it needs. So keep that in mind. If you're about to work with an agency, always have a call with the person who is going to manage your account and ask about their experience. Never sign an annual contract without testing the agency for at least 2 months. And you have to ask the right questions. There are many different questions that you can ask depending on the service for which you are hiring for. But here are a few examples. Can you walk me through a recent client success story? Can you connect me with this person? Who will manage my account and how do you communicate? For example, you might be hiring a good agency, but they might put the newest person in their team on your account, so your results will suffer. And as Ecom agency owner, I can tell you from experience, it's very hard to hire exceptional account managers that have experience in Ecom. And the next question you can ask is, how do you approach scaling without killing profitability? What is your exact game plan? And you have to tweak this question based on who you are hiring. If you are hiring a development agency, you should ask, how do you plan to keep our website extremely fast for customers? Another good question to ask is, what software tools do you recommend and why? And if you are hiring a marketing agency, you should definitely ask them, how do you handle creative testing and iteration? This process is one of the most important ones in your Ecom brand, and how you launch ad creatives and how you iterate on your best winning creatives is super connected to your revenue and profit. And I would highly advise you to avoid hiring a marketing agency for your brand that is not involved in that creative process. It doesn't make sense to pay a premium fee for someone to click a few buttons in their account. And hiring is the most challenging part of any business, and the truth is, hiring A players is the best thing to do, even if they are 30 to 50% more expensive. The ROI that you get by working with smart and talented people is much higher. When I started my agency 7 years ago, I was hiring beginners with no experience and my company struggled. I was making like 10 to 20,000 a month maximum, and once I changed my team and started to hire really good and experienced people, we scaled to over 100k a month, and I truly believe that this is the best thing to do if you want to scale. You need smart people. And when you have smart people, you don't have to tell them what to do and what steps to follow. Of course, you want to have a high-level process, but if the person is smart, he will figure out how to do his job even better than what you have outlined in your process. And basically, your best people are going to improve the department by giving you specific suggestions on what could be improved and why. So when you're hiring, always think through, is this person really smart? Is this person going to improve the IQ of the company, the IQ of the department, and can he really help my brand to scale?